Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Amber Unfiltered. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about this show that I'm watching. It's an old show, not super old, but it came out a little hot minute ago. I wanted to talk to you guys about Better Call Saul, and I think I was going to talk to you guys about the relationship between the two brothers and maybe compare them to the brothers in Black Rabbit. I don't know where I'm going with this video. I just wanted to talk about it because this show really be sending me. But before I do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to cash at me at Amber Unfiltered Show, that'd be greatly appreciated. So, bruh. I had actually tried to watch Better Call Saul like during the pandemic and I couldn't get into it because I will say that these shows start off very slow, and I'm a very impatient TV watcher. I told you guys this before. If that first episode isn't giving, I'm usually quick to like cut ties, and my husband's like, just calm down, like give it, he usually tells me like watch 3 or 4 episodes and see how you feel. And you never know like where Vince Gilligan's shows go. Like Vince Gilligan is the creator of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, Pluribus. You guys need to check out Pluribus. It's on Apple TV. We rented it through like a third party. You know how you can do like Apple TV through Amazon Prime for like $5. That's what we did, and we binged the fuck out of that show. That show is so fucking good. The creative direction and just like everything about that show is incredible. I have no complaints. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys because we're watching Better Call Saul right now. We're on season 3. Like, we're like crackheads, okay? There's only 6 seasons, which isn't really bad. But at first, I was like, Jesus Christ, Saul, aka Jimmy McGill is his real name. Jimmy is a raggedy ass bitch. That I stand by that statement. He is a raggedy ass bitch, but he's my raggedy ass bitch. But anyway, I was like, what the hell? Like, I hated this character. Like, I was literally screaming at the TV because I was like, he pisses me off so bad. I was like, he's so sleazy. He's such a weasel. Like, he does whatever, whenever, like the Shakira song says. But I'm like, girl, he has no regard for other people. He's always out for self. But I'm like, aren't we supposed to self-preserve? Like, isn't that what this life is about? But I think you can also lift other people up without trampling on them or stepping on their neck. But anyway, I need to talk to you guys about this show because I was like, oh my God, especially the relationship between him and his brother. I was like, I would never do this to my brothers at all. I would never do this to any of my family, no matter where we stand, no matter if it's estranged, no matter if it's tumultuous, no matter if I'm like, I hate you, I never want to see you again, die bitch. Like, I would never say that bit in my mind. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh my God. Also, I got 15 minutes, so forgive me if I'm rushing. But girl, I was like, oh my God, what the hell is this? Sorry, I got a little pop-up on my screen here. So I'm gonna tell y'all what the show is about if you haven't seen it, and then we're gonna get into all the things. So I've been streaming this on Netflix. So it says he wasn't always Saul Goodman, ace attorney for chemist turned meth dealer Walter White. 6 years before he begins to represent Albuquerque's most notorious criminal, Goodman is Jimmy McGill, a small-time attorney hustling to make a name for himself. He's a forceful champion for his low-income clients, an underdog whose morals and ambitions often clash. Ooh, hold on, y'all. Ooh, am I about to sneeze again? Jimmy works with Private Eye Mike Ehrmantraut. Oh, excuse me, sorry guys. A former Philadelphia cop and recent transplant to the Southwest. Mike has a specialized skill set. He's a fixer of sticky situations that Jimmy soon learns to appreciate. Girl, when I tell you this show is so wild, because this character, he's so morally ambiguous, but then you're like, I see why he does what he does. It's not right, but it guarantees results. He gets results, and he's willing to do the things that most people would not be willing to do, and he toes that line because he breaks the law in order to uphold it. It's very confusing. But at first, I hated his guts. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this guy, every time I think he's doing something for the greater good or for the benefit of another human being, it's for himself, it's to uplift himself. But I was like, I can kind of relate to like the underdogness of it all. I know underdogness is not a word, but I was like, I can kind of relate to like just wanting a piece of the pie, just wanting a seat at the table, just wanting to be better. You want more for yourself, but you try to do the right way. You try to follow a blueprint or a template. You try to do things in order or with some type of order or structure, but sometimes it just doesn't work for you. I'm kind of going through this myself. Like, to be totally honest with you guys, I think I'm actually going back to work full time. And I was like, I did not expect this. I did not foresee this coming. But honestly, I was like, I'm struggling financially. Yes, I'm married. My husband does not. I'm not going to say my husband does not. I don't expect my husband to take care of all my bills. And I know that's a controversial statement, but I'm like, if I got myself in this, I can get myself out. Yes, he's there to support me and I'm here to support him. But I'm one of those people, I feel like I need to figure this out. I need to dig myself out and I need to get with it or get lost. But I was like, oh my gosh, I don't really want to do this. But I was like, I don't really have any other choice. I was like, I have mounting medical bills. I was like, stuff is just so expensive. I was able to finagle and save and finesse working part-time, getting half the salary I was getting before. And it worked for me for quite a while, for like several months. And then I don't know what happened. I put my bills on auto pay. I started accruing more expenses. I think it was just like the health stuff, and then just like unexpected expenses. And it's just like, oh my God, when will it stop? I literally felt like my account was just being pillaged. I was like, I'm working and someone's just taking it at the second I get it. I was like, oh my God, this is not enjoyable. I want to be able to afford things. I was like, why does I have to compromise between my medicine and body wash? Like, I was like, that makes no sense. But this, it's just the way that the world works. And I was really hurt by that. But I was like, damn, I'm trying to do things the right way. But I was like, I try to do it the right way. Then I tried to do it my way. And I was like, it seems like I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. And I was like, well, maybe I can create on the side and maybe step into working full time with a different lens and kind of put different boundaries and kind of try to implement some practices that will kind of help keep my mental afloat and like help me have hard boundaries in these spaces. But I was like, I'm not thrilled about it because I know what a toll it took on me last time. And I was like, damn, I kind of feel like a sellout. I kind of feel like a failure, but I'm like, I got to do what I got to do. Like, these bills ain't going to pay themselves and the debt is just going to keep piling. So I got to either buck the fuck up or just keep drowning. And I was like, I'm not going to keep drowning. I don't want my shit to be taken. I worked really hard for it. We worked really hard for it, me and my husband. So I was like, but I really empathize with him because he tried to do the corporate thing. He tried to get like a 9 to 5. He tried to be regular. He tried to, but it didn't work for him. His personality wasn't wired for that. And the vision and the life that he saw for himself, the continents were not meeting, as Jesse Wu would say. But I was just like, oh my God, I really relate to him and that aspect. And I always felt like, I love being an artist, but I'm like, being an artist doesn't pay the bills. And I was like, then I feel like if I'm looking for paid opportunities, it feels very forced. It kind of like counteracts with my creativity, because creativity is about freedom. It's about intuition, and it's about just kind of like surrendering, not like, like it's not supposed to be policed, and you're not just supposed to be creating to make money. Like, duh, I want to create for a living at some point, like full time or maybe, part time, whatever the case may be. But I would love to do it full time, ideally. But I was just thinking about that and I was like, damn. But this character is so crazy. Like, okay, for instance, there was a scene where he had a camera crew. He was trying to make an ad for his practice. This man literally was living in the back of a nail salon. It's so crazy. He lives in the back of a nail salon. His office is like his house. He drives a shitty car. He's always in like the public defender's like office. Like, it's so, I don't even want to say public defender's office. He's like in that low stakes or low budget courtroom. He's not up with the big dogs or the big sharks quite yet. He's kind of towing that line where he's like trying to climb or ascend to that next level, but he's not quite there. And so there's this scene where he has a camera crew and this guy is putting up a billboard or changing the billboard, and he falls. And you think that he's actually saving this guy and he's doing something for the greater good. No, girl, he had planned it. He had paid this guy. That's what I'm saying. He just does shit and you're like, oh my God. Like, I'm trying to think of another example. What's another thing that he did? Oh, another thing. He was filming a commercial with some film students that he paid on the low. He just found this like senior citizen gentleman, or this elder gentleman. I don't want to say senior citizen. He found this elder gentleman, and he finagled his way on this base, this like private military base, and was filming an ad and like lied and said that this guy was a veteran, and he wasn't. He like flew like a B-29 jet. I don't remember if I got the jet name correct, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he was basically making this guy seem like he was a decorated war veteran, and kissed ass to like this like general or colonel or somebody high up in the military, but then was like sending him off so he could film a commercial with the plane to make himself look more noble and to make himself look more credible as a lawyer, as an attorney. It was just so crazy. Like, he just always takes it too far, and he does shit to people around him too. And you're like, oh my God, the only person he doesn't screw over is like basically his girlfriend. But even his actions cause issues for her on the back end. But I really wanted to quickly talk about the relationship between him and his brother, because I was like, that is so contentious. The acting is so good. So his brother has this illness where he's hypersensitive to electricity or electromagnetism. His brother is like a revered attorney. They work in the same law office, but Jimmy, the kind of down on his luck lawyer, worked in the mailroom, secretly studied to get his degree and pass the bar, and then he tries to work there, and his brother basically cock blocks him. But they have a tumultuous relationship. His brother hates him so bad, he just like steps on him. Like, he finds any opportunity to shut him down, to prevent him from climbing. And it was just so interesting me and my husband were talking about obsession. And I remember in one class I took in community college, my professor was like, let's talk about why obsession could be a good thing and a bad thing. I think we had to read something or watch something that kind of had to deal with this. And when we were talking about this, I was like, this reminds me of that movie There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano's character. Like, what lengths will you go? It almost reminded me of The Banshees of Inisherin. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. You need to check it out. It was on HBO Max. It might have moved, but it just was like this obsession. His brother Chuck is like, you don't deserve a seat at the table. I'm gonna fucking move the table and put it in a different room and prevent you access from getting in said room. Like, his brother just takes it too far. Like, it's like they set each other up for failure, and then they use this moment of weakness, or this moment of the flare up of the temper or the rage, to kind of like, Chuck ended up suing his brother. Like, it's just like they go so below the belt, and I just think that's so interesting. But it's almost like he loves his brother. He's so loyal to him. He's so devoted to him. His brother can do whatever, whenever, and Jimmy will always be there come hell or high water. He was like taking this man food, taking him newspapers, adhering, like he couldn't bring electronics in the house. He was doing everything to his brother's liking, and it still wasn't enough, because it was like his brother was holding his past against him. And I want to know, do you have anybody like that in your life? I was like, I couldn't imagine interacting with somebody like this. Like, this would stress me out. But it almost reminded me of the brothers in a different, almost like on the opposite end of the spectrum, the brothers Jake and Vince and Black Rabbit, because Vince was so obsessed with his brother. He was obsessed with going to war behind his brother, even though he knew his brother was in the wrong, even though he knew his brother was corrupt fundamentally. And it's just like, it kind of reminded me of the same dynamic. It's like, family can be so tense, it can be so intense, and it can be so complicated, so complex, so layered, so dense, so thick, you know? And I was just like, oh my God, but I love the way that they play it. The actor who plays Chuck, I was like, give this man a fucking Oscar or Emmy, because he eats with this role. Who plays him? It's Michael McKean. Oh my God, you guys need to watch this show. The relationship, and then it's like, the tit for tat that they have with each other affects all these other people around them, like their assistants, their other attorneys that they work with, people like loved ones, maybe partners, intimate partners, like spouses or girlfriends or whatever the case may be. It's just so fascinating. Sorry, I have 5 minutes. But I don't know. I just really love this show. I did not expect to love it this much. It was about towards the end of season 1, season 2. I was like, okay, like, it's very interesting, and there's so many dynamics, and there's so many different key players in this show. I love the way that it's written. I love how Vince Gilligan takes really ordinary people, or ordinary on the surface looking people, and then he puts them in these unconventional situations, and he makes them so layered. He rounds them out. I was like, damn. When I was watching the show, I started looking up film degrees, because I was like, maybe I need to get in film and TV, because I was like, maybe being an author is not working out for me. But I was like, it's the same thing. I would have to figure out how to juggle the creative with, working and sustaining myself. A lot of writers, work and create, but it can be very exhausting. But it made me think about that. I was like, good TV is really, really hard to find. I was like, this is one of the best shows I've seen that has been off the air for quite a while. Like, I think it ended in 2021, 2022, but it originally aired in 2015. And I was like, how does he create characters like this? They're so rich. It's like you can sink your teeth into them. But I love that he never gives up, and he's such a clever character, and he's so sharp, and he's able to pivot. That's what I really love about this character. And I'm telling you, I hated him. Like, I was texting my dad telling him I hated him. My dad was like, oh wait, you ain't seen nothing yet. And then my dad was giving me spoilers, and my husband was like, stop telling your dad what we're watching. I'd be lying to him. He'd be like, what'd you watch? I'd be like, nothing, girl, nothing. Like, but if you need something cool to watch, and I suggest watching it with another person. There's some shows you just need to watch with another person, even if they're not physically with you, maybe FaceTime or whatever the case may be. Like, Pluribus is another show of Vince Gilligan's that you have to watch with someone else, because there's so much conversation and discussion you can have. Like, we'd be pausing the episode, talking for 20 minutes, talking for 5 minutes, talking for 7 minutes, because it's just that engaging. And that's what I love about TV and film. It forces conversation, not even forces conversation, it promotes conversation, it promotes healthy dialogue, it promotes, and you also get to see people's principles, people's values, people's morals, but it also unites people. I think visual art tends to unite people, and that's what I really, really love about it. And it can just, it can just kind of spark those, that food for thought, and it can spark that, it can like stimulate you intellectually, mentally, emotionally. And art is just so powerful to me. It's just such an amazing medium. I have so much respect for people who do TV and film because I know it's not easy. I was like, damn, how do I become a showrunner? Like, I wish I could, but I was like, girl, I don't have the time. I was like, I'm trying to maybe like I got shit I've got to try to figure. I got to figure out how to sustain myself, like all that BS, but not BS, but all that shit. But I don't know if you guys need something new to watch. Like his character is just, you can't take your eyes off of him. Bob Odenkirk has such a charisma with this role, almost similar but different in the way that Rhea Seehorn dominates and takes up the screen and is magnetic on screen as her character in Pluribus, Carol Sturka. But if you guys need something new to watch, go for it. And just the tit for tat between him and his brother, and just when things get good, then it kind of blows up and blows out of proportion. You're just like, it's just this cycle, and it's a vicious cycle. It's like almost like a hamster wheel. It just keeps going, and they can't seem to get out of it. And they're so like, it's just interesting to me that brothers would act like this. I asked my husband, because we both actually have two brothers. I was like, would you ever do this to your brothers? He was like, no. And I was like, I wouldn't either. I was like, there's one of my brothers, unfortunately, like we're not super close. Like if I see him, I'm like, hey, what's up? What's cool? But like, we're not like pick up the phone. We don't really text or anything like that. And I'm like, I'm okay with that, unfortunately, because I'm like, I'm not going to force anything. Like if you want a relationship, I'm down. But if not, like I got to do what I got to do. But like, I just would never think to treat family like this. But it's like, it's almost like his brother doesn't see him as family. He sees him as the enemy. And I think that's really interesting when a family member can have that sort of lens with you. They don't even see you as blood or family, as someone to kind of extend a little bit more grace or a little bit more empathy or understanding too. But anyways, I love you guys. I hope you like this video. Sorry I had to rush. If I think of anything else, maybe I'll do a part 2, but I kind of feel like this is it. I just needed to talk about it. It's a great, great show. I would suggest giving it a watch if you haven't already. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.